Hello friends, my name is Akuchi and this is a nurse-led intervention in teaching breast self-examination. What is breast self-examination? It is the examination of a woman's breast by herself. And why do we conduct this test? It is to identify abnormalities which can pose as a risk for breast cancer. These abnormalities include lump in the breast, dimpling, puckering, swelling, redness, rash, or a bloody or watery discharge from the nipple. When do we perform breast self-examination? For women who have regular monthly menstrual cycle, it must be performed within 7 to 10 days after menstruation. And for women whose monthly menstrual cycle is irregular, or for women who are already in menopause, they should choose a day in a month where they can remember to carry out this examination. Now, there are 3 techniques involved in carrying out breast self-examination, and they include observation, position, and palpation. And for easy remembrance, you can call it OPP. Come with me. Let me actually show you the practical way of carrying out the breast self-examination. So for observation, you need a mirror to carry out this aspect of breast self-examination. So standing in front of your mirror, you place your left hand behind your head like this, okay? You observe the left breast. You turn to your right hand this way. You observe your right breast. What are you observing? You're trying to inspect for dimpling, puckering, rashes, redness, swelling. Okay? And afterwards, you put your hands by your side and also look at the breast for all of these I have mentioned. And finally, you put your hands on your waist and flex your shoulder, like as if you're hunching your back forwards. And also, you observe, okay, and inspect the breast. So this is what you do for observation. And if you remember, a woman should already know the shape, okay, of her breast. So during this observation, if you notice any change in shape, maybe one is bigger than usual, okay, or due to dimpling or puckering, the shape has been altered, the woman will be able to identify that on time. So this is what we do for observation. Now let us go for position. There are 2 positions a woman can assume when performing breast self-examination. The first one is standing in front of the mirror while you're doing your palpation, or you can as well stand under the shower while bathing to do your palpation. Why we can stand under the shower is because water enables easy gliding during the palpation. And the second position a woman can assume is lying on the bed. That I will show you after now. So let us look at the first position where a woman has to stand and carry out the palpation of the breast. Now you decide to start with either the right breast or the left breast. If we want to palpate for the left breast, we take our left hand up, okay, and put it behind our head. Now we have 3 techniques or patterns we can use during palpation. Follow me and let me show you. On this board are 3 patterns a woman can actually adopt while palpating the breast. We have the circular pattern, moving in circles. You have the vertical pattern, up-down movements. And finally, you have the wedge pattern. Most of us would have eaten pizza. So you see the shape the pizza takes in the box. This is actually what is called the wedge pattern. Hello, welcome back to the palpation aspect of the breast self-examination. Let me assume this model is my breast, my left breast. Okay, so I want to palpate my left breast. All I need to do is, remember, take my left hand up, put it behind my head, right? Then there's one important thing you do not need to forget. The fingers, the position of the fingers during palpation is key. Now you need to use the 3 middle fingers. And while using the 3 middle fingers, you must ensure you use the pad of the finger, the pad, not the palm. The fingers, the pad, and not this pointed aspect, the pad of the fingers. And during your palpation, you have to use varying degrees. It has to be deep and light. So let us palpate the left breast. So I place my left hand behind my head because I want to examine my left breast. So afterwards, I will then use my right hand using the 3 middle fingers and the pad, remember the pad of the fingers, using the circular method. Now there's this bone here called the clavicle bone. So palpation starts from this area downwards. The palpation of the breast is done outward towards the breast. So let us assume this is where we have our clavicle bone, our shoulder bone. Okay, so palpation using a circular pattern. You palpate this way. Okay, you palpate going round your breast. You see this edge, you go to the down aspect of the breast. Okay, you move in circles using a deep palpation. What are you looking out for? You want to identify, is there any hard mass or semi-hard mass which is very fleshy, a bit strong, and wobbles a little? That is what we call lump. Okay, you want to palpate and find out if there is a lump using the circular pattern. And by the time you have reached the end of the areola, you then squeeze the nipple gently. And what you're looking out for is to find out if there is a bloody or watery discharge. There shouldn't be a discharge from the nipple. This examination is done for women who are not breastfeeding. So normally the nipple shouldn't discharge any fluid. So if you see any fluid that is bloody or what, then you need to visit the hospital. So let us also palpate using the vertical pattern. Okay, vertical simply means a straight line. Okay, so you start from this angle. You see the one I'm palpating. You go this way down to the breast. Okay, you connect it back and come up. All right, connect it back. All right, you do not break it. You continue and start going down, palpating to identify what we call lump or a mass. Okay, so this is how you palpate until you have palpated the whole breast. This is the vertical pattern. And finally, let us palpate using the wedge pattern. Okay, an imaginary line should be drawn on the breast. You know how the pizza looks, right? So we move based on that imaginary line. You know how our clock is, right? The numbers on our clock. You move in that line. Okay? Remember what you're palpating for. You're looking out for any mass. Remember, the palpation has to reach the what? Clavicle. Okay? And afterwards, you still press the nipple to identify any discharge. And another important place you need to palpate after you have done this palpation using these various patterns is to palpate under the axilla, which is called the armpits, because we have some lymph nodes which are around this area. Okay, so how do you do that? Since we are palpating for the left arm, right, we palpated the left breast, so let me assume we have done same for the right breast. So all you need to do is you raise your hand up, say using the 3 middle fingers and the part of those 3 middle fingers, you palpate what? Okay, from here you come down, palpate, all right, you move. What are you looking out for? If there are any swelling, okay? Because when there's an impending infection, these lymph nodes in the axillary area will get swollen or inflamed, which tells us there's an ongoing infection. So this is how you palpate your what? Axillary region. So you palpate for the left breast, afterwards you move to the right breast. You do the same thing. Do not forget the armpit area. Do not forget to check for discharge from your lipo. I hope you are actually getting value from this class. So let me head on to the palpation using the lying down method. Come with me.